And now it's time to open up your ears and your minds, MMA fans. It's time for Rick's Picks.
Yes.
Rick's Picks are lots of fun, and his hair is in a bun, cause it's, you already know what it is.
Rick's Picks.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the new craze taking the world by storm. Live from the Vox Studios in beautiful New York City. It's time for
Close the garage,
Rick's Picks.
open the garage. What a great graphic that is. I mean, one of the all-time best. I am emotionally, mentally, physically exhausted after today's program, my friend.
Graphics are great, and the song, obviously, we
Mike
gotta give
Heck,
a
of
nod
course.
every time it plays to the great Mike Heck.
Now I can hear Mike Heck's voice in it. Like, I didn't know his voice that well when it came out, but now, of course, he's part of MMA Fighting. I hear the interviews.
Indelible voice of
Also the voice of the On the Nose segment.
That's right.
I mean, you know what I was just thinking about?
Tell me as you sit there with your hat on.
My Virna Janjiroba hat?
Yes.
Let me just pull something up here. I got to go through the freaking archives here. Wait. Just give me a second. Everything good over there?
Yeah, I'm hanging in. I'm ready for you.
Mr. Monday Afternoon is here, my friends.
Where else would I be? It's Monday afternoon.
It's Monday afternoon. What are you going to do? You're going to come here next week when we're not here?
You know what? I might. Maybe I'll do it. You know what? I might.
A year in review?
Tune in just for a little NewYorkRic broadcast.
Okay, I'm getting to it. Give me a second. I probably should have had this prepared. Almost there. We're literally rounding third as we... Wait, oh, here we are. Okay. Wow, this is amazing. This is really amazing. You know why? Wow, this is amazing. Tomorrow, December 14th, marks the 10-year anniversary of the infamous email.
Of our email?
Yes, December 14th, 2011. I was thinking
First of all, wait a minute. Why did this come up?
Okay, I'm telling you why this came up. First of all, like, I feel like 2011, 2012 were big years for me. And like, we're now, this year was a big year for 10-year anniversaries of Diaz saying he's going to slap me and John Jones doing this. Like, there's just a lot of things that happened in 2011. 2011. So why I was thinking of this is 2011 going into 2012. And I was thinking of John Jones beating Lyoto Machida at UFC 140. John Jones, right before you joined us, we did one episode of the MMA Hour in a control room somewhere on the Upper West Side. The look was very WWF live wired. You know this?
Yes, I know about this.
Where it's me sitting literally in a control room. We thought the idea would be cool. And this was the first time that SB Nation did the MMA Hour after taking it over from AOL. And it was riddled with technical problems when those used to be a constant on the program. John Jones was in studio. Not only did we debut this bizarre, control room look with all the screens behind us, Jones actually came in studio. Courtesy of the UFC, by the way. Our good friend Jim Byrne brought him by.
Wow.
En route to Toronto to fight Lyoto Machida and choke him out and walk off the way in which he did. And so after that show was such a disaster. I remember, I believe... Dan Miller was on the show. Ariane Celeste was on the show.
Ariane, I can confirm. That one I remember for sure.
Anyway, we took a break and then we returned and you were a part of the show.
That's right.
So I was thinking when I saw the John Jones Machida, I was like, wow, the MMA Hour under the Vox Media umbrella is 10 years old. You joining the show next month will be 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
And then, of course, 10 years since the email, which would be exactly 10 years ago. By the way, not only 10 years ago tomorrow, 4:54 p.m. Eastern it was sent. It's 4:40. I mean, we almost nailed this to the freaking minute. Pretty damn.
Wow. What an anniversary. 10 years. I mean, that is crazy. Also, to pull back the curtain, practice show before that.
Yes.
With the great John Beer, who I also know.
Yes.
So just a lot of history related to this time.
Yes. I'm not sure if that moment hit quite like you thought it would when you said it. I mean, I don't think anyone really cares about that. But listen.
Maybe you care about it.
No, it's great. And I referenced John recently on the show when I was talking to Chris Curtis about, having friends who are... No, I'm just saying.
I mean, you guys all right? Is something going on here?
No,
that one was more for you than anybody else.
But by the way, the best moment about all of that was the practice show. He came in with me to do it. And do you remember what he asked you?
Yeah, for an iPad charger or an Apple
iPhone charger.
Yeah, and I didn't have an iPhone at the time. So
not only did you say yes, you said you didn't know what it looked like. This is 2011.
Yeah,
the iPhone I think was in existence for 5-6 years. You didn't know what it looked like. That was bizarre. Would you have a flip phone?
That long? But yeah, no. Stop it.
No, I. What did you have?
I was an Android guy.
Oh my god! Can I tell you?
Converted.
There is an actual wave of depression that hits me when I get someone's phone number for the first time and it's green.
Is this about to be Android slander?
Yes.
When you get the green bubble?
When it's green, I feel a disconnect with that human being. When I know I have to text a fighter that's green, I'm like, ugh, this is going to be a pain. I like to see the bubbles.
Yourself bad right now.
No. Why? Is that bad? Is that a bad thing to say?
You're telling people if they have an Android phone, they're lesser. That's what you're saying right now.
Not lesser. I feel a disconnect. I feel sad. I feel down. I feel connection. When there's that blue, I feel like a locking of arms. When the green, it's like I feel like we're worlds apart.
I can relate.
You see? MF Zoom can relate.
Is Apple sponsoring this? Do you work for them? What is this?
Listen, when you text people as often as I do about this,
you need the blue. Is what you're saying.
Blue. I need the blue. If someone's like, "Oh yeah, here, reach out." Like, and by the way, you know why I'm so demented, which gets me back to why I'm so tired today, because this was the post pay-per-views are great, but they're kind of hard to book.
Yeah, there's pressure. It's a lot.
I mean, everyone's on a high, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I get the number from someone. And you tell me like, Chris Curtis, a green guy. I just think of that because I just got his number recently. They're becoming less and less. So when I know, I'm like, I got to reach out to a green guy person. It's like, are they going to respond? Are they not going to respond? Do I have that connection with them? The blue, I see the dots.
This is fascinating.
It actually bums me out. A good friend of mine, Daniel Wolf, one of my best friends, has been a green guy for our entire lives. Like ever since we had, just last week, changed to a blue guy. And I can't stress this enough. I feel so much closer to him.
Yeah,
we're texting all day. I didn't want to text him. I didn't want to be bothered. Now we're texting just random things. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Now here's an important question, tangentially related. Are you a read receipts guy?
Hate read receipts. Hate that. You don't deserve to know when I read something.
What about when you get them? I bet you love when people have their read receipts on. Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing pisses me off more than when I see that, and then what happens? They don't respond.
That sounds exactly right. That you would love when they have their read receipts on, but you will not want them to be in your space and knowing if you're.
There's nothing better than when you're.
It's just the one you don't want.
Well, no. It's like you're in the flow with someone, and it's like read, and you're seeing it like, they're reading, and then it stops. And there's nothing more annoying than when you're texting with a manager or fighter that has the read receipts on, and you ask them to come on the show, and they read it and they don't respond.
Left you unread. Yeah. Wow, we've gotten a very interesting insight into the mind of Helwani.
Oh, it's a bizarre place. Like Lloyd Pearson, one of the top managers in the game, is a read receipts guy.
I love this. You're just exposing everybody's cell phone habits right now on the show. Chris Curtis, green guy. Lloyd Pearson. Oh my God, this is.
By the way, there's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but who was I saying this to? I think GC before the show. No, wait. No, I was telling you to Phil O'Connor, who's a great Swedish-Irish journalist. I was on his podcast.
Yeah.
You can call, like, you know how if you say like, who headlined UFC 73 and I can tell you the card?
Yeah, your recall is great.
Tell me a fighter and I will tell you. We don't have to do this now.
Green or blue?
Green, blue, read receipt, not read receipt. Are they more of a WhatsApp guy? Is the best way to get to them WhatsApp? Is it best to get to them via IGDM, Twitter DM, manager, sister, brother, green, blue, whatever? I could tell you the whole freaking story.
This is absolute insanity. This is absolute insanity.
It's insanity. But when you've booked every single guest in the history of this 12+ year program, you develop these idiosyncrasies.
I can't, I have to push back a little bit. I cannot go along with you on this green and this
100%,
green thing.
100%. Hate it.
I'm an equal opportunity texter. Mm-hmm. If you're green or blue, you're still good in my book, in my phone book. But do your thing. Do your thing.
No.
I'm just glad I'm team iPhone and we're close. We're still close enough.
Yeah. What is going?
What do we got? Somebody text you with a green bubble?
No, just a weird school text, but I think we're good.
You okay?
Yes. Well, it's just weird.
Let me take the reins for a second.
Okay, go ahead. What are you trying to say?
No, you got something to attend to.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna do Rick's picks. Number one this week, there was no doubt it couldn't go any other way. Again, I've spoken in the past. We're trying not to go with the obvious, but when you shake up the world the way Juliana Pena did, she is the number one Rick's pick for this week. Called her shot, has been calling her shot, got it done. And then even the circumstances and the moments surrounding it, talking about Michael Chiesa, embracing with her backstage and running to her and them sharing that moment. It's a great story, and we could potentially get a rematch and another big fight out of it. So for a division that felt like, was under Amanda Nunes's control and everybody's looking for contenders, Julianna Pena shook up the establishment and became a champion when nobody believed. So number one had to be Juliana Pena.
Incredible. Also, I talk sometimes about like survivor's guilt, about these guys who are, retiring, who we came up with.
Sure, yeah.
On the flip side, seeing these people who sort of started when we started in this game finally reach the mountaintop is pretty damn cool, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely. And she is somebody who never had that opportunity that she was craving at, UFC 200. She thought that was her time, and she was calling her out, and then the paths diverged for quite a while. We're now looking at a long time since UFC 200, but she got that opportunity and made the most of it. You look at look at Glover Teixeira, another one. He did get the title shot, but it was during John Jones's run and lost that fight. Took a long time and a path to get back, and was able to succeed when he got that next opportunity. And then Charles Oliveira, same thing, didn't have that title opportunity till late in his UFC run. I think the latest by number of fights ever, like 28 or something crazy like that. No. Is it 28? It's possible. The number's escaping me right now. But so many UFC fights and then getting that title opportunity, it is nice to see. I'm in agreement with you there.
Absolutely.
Next one, and I didn't sort it out this way. It wasn't going to be only guests of the show, but Dominic Cruz. Not only for getting it done in the way that he did, surviving a hellacious first round against Pedro Munoz, and showing, just his grit and his toughness in that fight. But just being, and I think you actually said it almost exactly this way earlier today, but being exactly who he is. Dominic Cruz is who he is. Like it, love it, hate it. He is going to be Dominic Cruz at all times, and he's going to give you that. The authenticity, I think, is something that can be appreciated by many, whether you agree with him or not. On a lot of the things that he says or does, you can never say that he's not authentic, and I can appreciate that. As somebody who tries to be pretty authentic in my life, I'm very appreciative of Dominic Cruz's authenticity. And again, sometimes it can work against him. He even said, to you earlier today that he regretted the forum that he took to criticize Daniel Cormier, but he stood by the words. He is who he is. So shout out to Dominic Cruz.
How'd you feel about that?
I personally would not have done it in that forum.
Yeah.
I think DC had his sit down on his YouTube with Dominic Cruz and basically said, you could say that, but say it to me and say it in a different forum. So I ultimately lean there. I ultimately agree. And I think you've spoken and said the same. So yeah, I think Dominic Cruz, and to his credit, like you said, DC handled it well, but I think DC would have taken that criticism behind the scenes perfectly well, just as he 100%. Did in front of the camera.
But he wouldn't take it to heart. No, sorry. He wouldn't take it personally. He wouldn't try to bury him. He wouldn't hold a grudge. He wouldn't try
I still don't think he has.
No.
Which is
honestly,
great.
He doesn't. You know who are the two people who probably don't take that to heart? Maybe the only two. It's him and Rogan. Him and Rogan are the only ones. Like, people have said things about Rogan. I don't get. Look, Joe Rogan and I aren't best friends, and I didn't like what he said about me after the whole banning thing. Joe Rogan serves a purpose. Joe Rogan is very important to what the UFC is doing. Joe Rogan is a massive superstar. Joe Rogan has put in the time. Joe Rogan isn't a token guy. Joe Rogan has been here longer than all of us. You know what I mean? He has seen more fights. He trains, all that stuff and more. I have no issues whatsoever with Joe Rogan showing up 13 times a year on a pay-per-view. It actually makes it feel a little different, elevates it. Number one, I don't get the hysteria and the obsession over the broadcasters. They're all very good. I really don't.
I think there's it comes from a place of, hey, we deserve the best possible product and we don't feel we are getting it. There are people who would be critical of individual broadcasters. I will say, there's an argument to be made that tenure isn't necessarily the thing that should keep you there, right? We're talking about Joe Rogan being there for as long as he has. That may not necessarily be the thing that should keep you around. Maybe that's an opportunity to change something. Personally, I agree with you. I think Joe Rogan's inclusion is good. I like hearing Joe Rogan. It's not too long ago that I was saying that I would take Joe Rogan and Mike Goldberg as the booth for forever. That may have been, right before Mike Goldberg departed the UFC, but I think there is something comforting. I think there is something important about Joe Rogan being on a broadcast. I understand that there's differing opinions on that, and I can respect and appreciate all of those. Personally, I like Joe Rogan on the broadcast, and yes, I do think there is something that he brings to that that cannot be replicated.
It would be weird without him around. I don't think he has to be at every single show. And I think they have Felder and Bisping and Cruz and DC.
Yeah.
And they've got some guys that I think Anthony Smith can do that job very well already right now. So.
This is essentially where I believe the argument comes from, that people would say, well, why don't we utilize those people instead? But I think that Rogan is good at what he's doing.
All right.
Last one. Last Rick's pick, Ariel Helwani.
Oh.
Congrats.
Wow.
On your 11th Journalist of the Year win.
Thank you.
Your video, great. Cut down to 5 seconds.
I mean, come on, guys. Broadcast. Come on. You know what bugged me about that, if I'm being honest?
Yeah, let's
Here
talk
I
about
am.
it.
I shoot the video with Claire. My better...
By the way, she steals the show. We know this.
Absolutely. I wish she could just do it. I mean, probably in a year, she could just do the whole thing by herself. And there's nothing that gives me greater joy than doing those things with her. She always says, can we do the Ariel and Claire show? Can we do the Ariel and Claire show? So I was like, all right, we're going to do a special one this time. We're going to accept this award. I try to make a point in the speech to not only thank the fighters, but thank my employers, not only my current employers, my previous employers, you know what I mean? Thank the media, and they cut all that out. They just seem like a narcissistic pig.
You went a little long. The run time was...
By the way, at the beginning of the thing, I say I'm trying not to go long this time because you always come out. And not only did they cut me out, by the way, I didn't even get the, hey, and now let's call out, Mario Lopez to give the award.
Oh, like an actual presentation, you're saying. Yeah, you were in the rolling list of
I was in
winners.
Usually
at the Oscars, it's like they do that before the show starts. You're on the red carpet.
What was that all about? I mean, come on. Even Bisping winning analyst, I thought that was a little weird. There were some good ones that they just steamrolled right through.
When you win 11 times, they got to just push you. Like, hey, let's get the new blood in here.
Bill Russell,
old Helwani, yeah. But
Bill
congratulations.
Jackson. Thank you.
Well deserved. And also shout out to MMA Fighting.
Shout out to MMA Fighting.
Outlet of the Year nomination, and Sean Al-Shadi also, who was up for Journalist of the Year. So shout out to those people.
Yes. I think that normalcy will be restored next year.
Calling the shot.
Well, by the way, shout out to our former colleagues over at ESPN for winning. I mean, it would have been nice to get a shout out, to you and I mean, just a little nod. And
stop.
I'm just joking.
Stop it. You don't have enough hardware. Stop.
I mean, just a little, they couldn't be here, but they're a big part. But yes, no, it's very good. And actually, I'm happy that they broadcast it live. Sometimes that show just kind of happens and then airs 2 weeks later. It's a nice little addition. Chael did good. Yeah.
The monologue, right?
Yeah.
Monologue.
Well, just as a host. He's good as a host.
I'm going to continue the self-indulgence, just a few more. I was actually going to make it like all MMA fighting themed.
Okay.
Because I'm so proud of
Look at
what's
you.
been done at the end of
Such
the
a company guy.
Honorable mention, because I'm continuing this, to Jose Youngs explaining Cap in the post-fight press conference. Just that was a beautiful moment.
To Dana,
to Kevin Iole, to the
whole
room
thing
at large. God bless.
It's good to have a youngster on the squad.
Well, it's just he
hipster.
Jumped into duty. He knew it was his responsibility to do that, and
I don't mean hip
for that.
Like a hipster like you are, like when you pick Ronda Rousey. I mean someone who is hip. Yes, that was very interesting. Shout out to him. I mean, the question was good in its own right, but then explaining the lingo, and then I love how defensive Dana gets about like, when have we ever lied about these things?
Yeah. Well,
great.
That is what it is, but
they have put out fights that haven't been done. I mean, like they've done this.
No. Undoubtedly, they have put out fights that haven't been done, and the champ is saying, "You're lying."
He's one of the very few that has the cojones to actually say, like most of the time. There was a Kyle Dock. Was it Kyle Dawkins or Chris Dawkins? You remember when it was reported that Derek Lewis was fighting Chris? It was Kyle, right?
It was Kyle who tweeted, yes.
He put the Russell Westbrook gif.
But that's kind of where I was going with this. As has happened in the past, typically those fights do end up happening.
Yeah.
Even though the fighter at the time has not signed the contract.
True. Oh, I think that fight is going to happen.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that he had that reaction. It might even happen on February 12th.
Yeah. And then last one, shout out to this guy over here, GC.
GC
Just
killing
a huge bounce back week.
Oh, yeah.
Just love that.
Not just a bounce back week, comes in with tiramisu cake for Yoon on her birthday.
What a mensch.
I mean,
happy birthday to Yoon. And this guy brings in the cake. I mean, just tremendous.
In fact, I think we have some birthday music, don't we, Mysterious Frank? There it is. I mean, what a week for birthdays. Bob Arum. Where's Tyson Fury to serenade us?
What a voice on that man.
He's actually really good.
Yeah, and he rises to the occasion every time. It's like you can't, he's just doing karaoke, no music, just a cappella singing songs to people. It's a true talent. You wouldn't expect it from the greatest heavyweight fighter on the planet today.
See, I disagree with what you said to me before the show. I actually think this is the best team that we've ever had production-wise for the MMA.
Oh, nice try. Nice try.
No, it is the best team we've ever had.
If only.
Without a doubt.
You wish.
What do you mean?
Show me the what?
Oh, show you the receipts?
Show me the receipts on that one.
It was a verbal I'm just trying to make it awkward for you.
The mics were live. Let's go back to the footage.
You have to sit there with them for 3+ hours. It is the best team.
MMA fighting. Outlet of the Year nomination. You guys, Sean, nominations for Journalists of the Year. Team is strong.
Team is strong.
Shout out to everybody back here as well.
Amen.
That's it for Rick's picks.
All right. I'll see you January 3rd.
Listen, I'm coming next Monday.
Oh, well, I was going to say for the award show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited about that.
I need to get working on that. I have done nothing. By the way,
I'll bring some hipster picks. Yep.
But I mean, by the way, things are tough. Like, okay, Poirier losing maybe makes male fighter of the year a little easier because of Usman. But by the way, like, shout out to Charles Oliveira. You know what I mean?
I think it's between those two, right?
Yes, top of my head. Female
maybe
fighter
I'll
of the
just
year.
pick Chris Curtis and do my hipster move.
That would be a hipster move. Female fighter of the year. Is it Rose who got the belt back and then successfully defended it against the same person? Or is it Juliana Pena who won in January and then beat the GOAT?
I think in the case of that, you can make a case for somebody who's had one win when it is that win.
No, but she has two. It's just literally 11 months apart. Her first win of the year was in January.
Oh, wow. I didn't even realize that was in this year.
Yeah. So her first one of the year was in January and then she finishes it. So you think that,
Yeah, well, then that.
But then, there's like, I don't think there's any clear-cut winner. Maybe I'm just losing it right now because I'm tired, but I don't think there's any clear-cut winner in any category.
Tough.
Who's pound for pound female fighter right now? Is it Valentina?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Even though Nuna's still a champ?
Well, she lost though.
Yeah. I think it's Kayla Harrison.
No, that's Cap.
No, that's Cap. But it's going to be a good one. January 3rd, MMA Hour Awards. All right. Thank you very much, sir. All the best. Happy holidays. There you have it. Rick's picks.